Manchester City 2, Brighton 0. It was tricky. They made it hard, but we have our first 3 points of the season in the first game of the season. The Premiership is back. Football is back. And it feels really good, doesn't it? I had missed this over the summer a big lot, if I'm being totally honest with you all. As you noticed as well, I have a sponsor, OneFootball, are sponsoring my videos this August, which is really nice of them. It's dead nice, because as I said before in previous videos, it's actually a good app. I was keeping up to date with the game yesterday, even though I was watching it, obviously. It was kind of letting me know all the facts and all that kind of stuff as it was going on. So go and download that in the description, because it keeps this channel going, and it's actually a good app. You get all your stats, updates, fixtures, and all that kind of stuff, and there's reports and all news on the game as well. But let's talk about the game a little bit more, shall we? I was impressed in general with our endeavour. I think it was really obvious that Brighton were going to try and make it very, very difficult for us, and they set their stall out to put 10 men behind the ball at all times, and in general it kind of worked. I don't really blame them. They are, after all, a newly promoted team, and not even just that, it's their first ever time in the Premier League, the first time in the top 5 for God knows how long, and I don't really blame them in general for being cautious. We absolutely dominated the ball. It was something like 80% possession at times, and it was one-way traffic, and typically it looked like it was going to be one of those games where we do nothing and they run up the other end and score or grab a point or grab 3 points unjustly. But eventually our patience paid off, and Sergio's finish made amends for one of the two that he scuffed earlier on in the game, and it was a beautiful little finish as well. Great ball from De Bruyne to Silva to Aguero, and a sweet finish into the far corner. And it was just rewards for his display in general. I thought he was excellent. I thought his link-up play, his little 1-2s with people. He should have had an assist as well with Gabriel Jesus heading at the keeper when he should have gone past him to the far post. But he was fantastic. He was alive, and he showed, in my opinion, that he's still our main man up front. Yes, he will miss some sitters every now and then, but he'll get 30+ goals this season, no problem. And he'll get sharper, he'll get more focused. We need to remember that as well. It is only the first game of the season. We are a little bit rusty. Teams will be a little bit more cautious against us than ever. Of course they will, given the way we play. But I'm suspecting we'll move the ball quicker. I'm suspecting we'll push it forward. I'm sure Pep knows what he wants to do. I thought the decision to start Fernandinho in holding midfield, maybe move the ball a little bit slower than we would like to. Yaya, for all his weaknesses going back towards the goal, he's much better going forward, as we all agree with that. Fernandinho doesn't have that same guile, that same creativity that Yaya does, and I think that would have made us move a little bit quicker. Maybe Gundogan will step in there when he's fully fit too, and he's not far off at all. As predicted, we went with a 3-5-2. I had a feeling we would do. Danilo play on the left, Walker on the right, and we completely controlled the game. Maybe we were missing some of the actual width of a winger, but in general, I thought Walker was excellent. He showed exactly how good he's going to be this season. He's the kind of player I don't think will ever have a bad game, not a terrible one at least, touch wood. He'll just be genuinely good throughout, because he's that kind of reliable player. Having him bursting forward, having his power, his pace to snub out counter-attacks and also lead us forward, well, it was good. You can see why he was worth all that money, and I'm sure he'll prove to be one of the best right-backs, if not the best right-back in the league this season. I thought David Silva wasn't his usual magic best, but he still had something like 95 passes completed out of 102 or something like that. De Bruyne, kind of on the periphery, but still pretty good in general. Danilo, I think, struggled a little bit against a more packed defence. He obviously isn't naturally left back. He did an able job there at left wing back, but I think it was more telling that we looked a little bit more comfortable when we brought Sane on to play on the left hand side, because he's obviously got a left foot. He's more natural there. And I think when Benjamin Mendy, the man who's pissed off all of football Twitter with his bullet header thing, I thought that was hilarious, by the way. But when he's back and he's flying down the wing, I think that'll offer even more attacking options. I think we'll go up another level then. Defensively, we were incredibly comfortable. How good is it to see Vincent Kompany looking just so composed, so powerful? In fact, I don't think we even needed 3 centre-backs, if we're being totally honest, throughout this game. We had very little to do, and what we had to do, we did it pretty well. I think they had 4 or 5 minute spell where they put a bit of pressure on. That was always going to happen in front of a packed stadium at home in the first ever game in the Premier League. They were going to have a chance, and we rode that tiny little storm. It wasn't really a storm, it was more some like passing showers, and we rode that fine, and we looked pretty comfortable. Edison, he looked a little bit nervous, I thought, compared to pre-season, but importantly, that little kind of thing where he slightly spilled the ball, that didn't affect him, and that'll help him grow in confidence hugely. I thought there were some moments of absolute brilliance from Gabriel Jesus. A little flick over his own head, and he ran onto it and controlled it for the defender. That was just pure Ronaldinho. More of that will be absolutely welcome. I think it just shows the signs of what's to come. And I think there was also signs of a budding partnership with him and Aguero. They're both intelligent footballers. They both seem to respect each other. I've got a theory in general that Aguero only works well with partners that he actually kind of looks up to or respects in terms of being of equal quality. It's why he works worked so well with Tevez, and he also saw the appeal of working with Negredo, I think. And I think Gabriel Jesus is there. I think Sergio realises this guy is good. He's worth my time, my focus. And I think instinctively players do that, even if they don't mean to do it. It's like a subconscious thing. They take him more seriously. And you can't not take Brazil's number 9, a wonder kid, seriously. Even though he should have scored, and I think he'll probably be kicking himself that he didn't. I think the signs were very, very promising. They could have a huge season, maybe a potentially breakout season. I know some people were a little bit concerned that we were a little bit wasteful in our chances. All the hallmarks of last season. But I still think we were noticeably better. I still think the shape was better. I still think our work rate was absolutely phenomenal. Brighton could not get a touch, and that was because of the pace, the youthful endeavour in the team. They look fitter, they look sharper than they did last season, and obviously having 2 fullbacks with that much energy, that made this whole pressing thing, made it a lot more cohesive, and everyone moved as a unit. I think we genuinely were better than last year. Yes, the finishing will come, and maybe it was a little bit frustrating, but that's going to happen. All that matters is that we didn't drop points here. This is the kind of game last season we would have dropped points. Be patient. Don't worry too much. We got the job done. We scored the goals. We're off to a very good start, basically, as far as I'm concerned. I don't seek perfection in the first game. It is still incredibly early on. The players are still searching for fitness. They are a little bit rusty. But for now, we've got the 3 points. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that game, who you want to see start in the next lineup, in the next game against Everton, which is obviously, God, it's like a week and a bit away now. It's a long way away. And if you haven't already, subscribe and go watch the massive season preview as well that I made the other day. Even though the first game is gone, it's still relevant. I think probably even more so. Well, maybe not, but you know, definitely. And go and download the One Football app because it's really good and all that. See you next, guys. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Should I keep that bit in where I mumble? I'm keeping that bit in where I mumble.